promotion. The promotion is doing really, really well. I know from all the messages that myself and the team have been getting this morning on our phones, just questions. If we do this, does this work? Does this bonus, so a lot of questions coming through, which is fantastic because it means everyone's pushing for the close of month end and also the close of the fiscal year. So we are, I'm still waiting to check the numbers. Actually, I'm just going to write myself a note, check the numbers. The numbers report that we are potentially going to have our biggest month for Australia and New Zealand combined ever. Wow. And, it's quite incredible because we had a couple of months where, we've never gone backwards, but we stabilised. And, that was well to be expected while, people got adjusted to everything that's been going on with COVID-19. And then people just got to work and have just, working their butts off. A lot of you are at home, or even if you're working another job, you're working at home and you've just gotten out there. We've got a lot of new people into our Australia and New Zealand businesses in the past 2 months, which is super exciting. I was at an event at Josie Tong's on the weekend. Congratulations, Josie. Josie had around 20 women round for a health and wellness spa. So kind of what we used to do before a lot of you built your businesses online. And it just made us realise, Ange was there too, the power of these in-person small gatherings, women coming together. I mean, men, of course, are welcome. And, doing some pampering, learning how to use our skincare, learning about the importance of looking after your skin and how you look from the inside, not just the outside. So it was a really powerful message. And Josie ended up with 5 enrollments out of 20 people on that day. And to think that a lot of the people there were already distributors. So congrats to you, Josie, on a fantastic event. And we're just seeing a lot more, 5 out of the 8 guests, she just said, which is really good numbers. And it just shows that power of having people face to face is still a very, very great way to grow your business if people are open to catching up in person. Maybe not so much in Victoria. I think in our other states, it's a great idea. So just wanted to bring that up. And so congratulations to everyone on all the work that you're doing at the moment. I know that there's so much activity and excitement in the field in both countries, and we're just with you all the way. So let's get started on our training for this week. We have 3 exceptional women here with us this afternoon. We've got Una up on the sunny coast with us. We've got Beata Koropawa from Melbourne with us, our newest Pro 7. And we've also got Susan Balin, who is one of our newest Pro 5s from Sydney. And so let's just check, Ange, that we've got Susan on here. Let me just check, guys. Sorry, one moment. Ange, is Susan here with us? Okay, I think they might be working to get that Susan's issues resolved. So, Una, I think we're going to go to you first. She's like, really? Me first?
Sorry, guys. Susan's she's still trying to get on. We're just having some technical issues. So,
okay, Ange, can she just click on join and just manually type in the number? That's what I do if I have an issue.
Okay, we'll try that.
So don't go into the links, just go into join on your Zoom
and type
icon.
in the link. Okay, we'll try that.
All right, well, we will get moving. Una, I hope you don't mind going first.
No, not at all. I'll just share my screen, Pam, and so make sure that works.
So everyone, please welcome Una Cloesi. I never say your last name. I call you Oons. And so Una's one of our leaders up on the Sunshine Coast. She's got an incredible global team. Una is part of Team Hearts United. G Fletcher's is Una's upline. And Una does an incredible job. She's also a nurse. She's a mother of 2. And we just love partnering with Una. She brings such joy into the business. And she's going to share some great information with you today. So, Una, I'll hand over to you. Welcome.
Thanks so much, Pam and Ange. And thanks everybody for allowing me on today. As Pam said, my name is Una Closey. This is not an area that I'm comfortable in. I prefer to be behind the scenes, but it's really important as a leader that you actually, you know, come out and show that you are actually a leader in your own field. So I'm up here on the Sunshine Coast. I joined LifeVantage in April 2016, along with Charlotte, G, Denise and Kim, and it's been 4.5 years, and I'm a Premier Pro 6 here. So when Claire asked me to come on today, she asked me just to share my story and to talk a little bit about how you can overcome self-sabotage and you know, things like that. So this is my why, and this is my family. That's my son Luke. I'm not sure if you can see all that. My son Luke, he is in Arizona. He lives in Arizona, went to university there. He actually was an elite athlete in diving in the Australian Institute of Sport. My husband John is in construction. My daughter Ellie is 21 and she's just joined the police academy up in Townsville, and myself. And then we have our 2 dogs as well, who Johnny and I are just left with now. So just a little bit about me. My background is nursing. I've been nursing for 37 years. I started my training in London, went to Melbourne, back to London, to San Francisco for 5 years, and then went back to Ireland to live forever, where we lasted about 7 years, no, 8 years actually, and then came back out to the Sunshine Coast 16.5 years ago. So why I tell you that is that you'll see that my background is very traditional, you know, very Irish. That's the way that my education was as well. So when network marketing was introduced to me by G, I was like, no way am I able to do this. You know, I'm not even interested. But she knew showing me the products that I would be interested in that. So for me, why I joined was because of that. But the other reason that I joined was because I had a community at that time of those, you know, 5, 6 ladies, and I actually didn't want to get left behind. You know, so I'm just encouraging you today, you know, keep going for that opportunity. Some of the things I didn't have any faith in at the time was me. You know, I knew that I was passionate about sharing healthcare with people and about caring for people, but some of the self-limiting beliefs that I had at that time was, you know, how could I be successful? Why should I be successful? And, you know, it was a real battle that I struggled with really for a couple of years. So again, I encourage you to know that you can actually do this as well, as long as that you're being authentic. So the other limiting belief that I had was I had scarcity about money, and I didn't believe that I should be paid to do what I do, you know, so that as well took a lot of self-development for me to get through those beliefs. So we're just going to move along and look at 6 ways to stop self-sabotage and to get out of your own way. So when I looked at doing this, I looked at what made a success. So success is equal to strategy and mindset. So read that again. You need to have the mindset. So success is 20% strategy and 80% mindset. So anybody can do this. So when you look at the different types of mindset, we've got a fixed mindset where failure is the limit of your abilities. I'm either good at it or I'm not, or my potential is predetermined, or when I'm frustrated, I give up. Whereas if you switch it around and you look and have a growth mindset, you look at things where you see failure is an opportunity to grow, where you can learn. I can learn to do anything that I want. And it's a challenge and it can help make you grow. And, you know, always look at something as I like to try new things. Self-sabotaging, is this something that you could identify with? You know, that you're procrastinating the whole time, that you're getting close to a goal, but then you start to quit, and not keeping your word to yourself, setting goals with no action steps and not trying, and carrying a negative narrative story about your abilities all the time. That's something that you've really got to knock on the head. Sorry, just move this. So busy work. This is the #1 way people can self-sabotage themselves, is always by saying that they're doing busy work, or really that they're working, that they're working in their heads. Oh my goodness, I apologize. Just thinking about the business, but actually not doing the actions that actually help you build your business. So busy work is where people are operating in passive action. So what does that mean? They've got a consuming mindset. So lots of us can do this. We're consuming personal growth material all the time. We're watching different self-development programs. We're watching how other people do it. It's still really, really important that you do all those things, but it's just like a plant. It won't matter how much sunlight it gets. Without somebody watering it, it won't grow. So you actually have to do all that work yourself. So what do you need to do? What people need to shift into is massive action. Now, when we talk about massive action, it doesn't necessarily have to be huge. It just needs to be that you do a consistent action every single day. So this is the fall on your face in front of people action, where you're creating connections all the time, where you're using videos, podcasts, ebooks, online courses, group coaching, client meetings, anything like that. As long as you're creating the product that actually gets you results, but you're taking that action consistently. Business entrepreneurs these days can feel scared, and so we can slide back into that easy passive personal growth, and we can move away from actually implementing anything in our business. So you really have got to put the action back into the strategy and use a tracker. If one of the things that I've learned probably in the last 6 months especially is, if you don't track something, you'd actually go back into that mindset that you've got all this busy stuff going on. But when you actually track it, you actually see the consistency that you've got and the real work that you're doing. So just take a small step every day. That's really what's important. Now, perfectionism. This is something that I really, really struggled with. It's when you're trying to be perfect at what you do, it's really out of fear, and the fear of not being accepted or being worthy. So I remember, when we started with our teams, and I, was comparing myself to Charlotte and to G and to other people. And something, it took me a long time to learn that I can't be those people, that I've got different skill sets to them. So, Charlotte could be good at one thing, G's good at another, Josie's good at something else. We all have got areas that we specialize in. So don't let perfectionism hold you back. It's all about but all of this operating in a negative energy means nothing will ever get done because it's not perfect. So no one and nothing is perfect anyway. So what are we really striving for? Another thing I remember is at the very beginning when we started, we were doing, Charlotte had us doing live videos up at Point Cartwright, and G and all the girls were doing them. I was standing behind a tree crying, hugging the tree, because I was so scared about it, and, it just shows you, if you just have to do and keep doing it, and you get better at it. So we want quality, but sometimes it's okay if it's not an A. Okay, B is okay as well. As long as your content is good and it's positively impacting people, that's what matters. So be work can change lives too. So please don't let fear slow you down and stop putting yourself out there. Avoid being your own enemy and just get out of your own way. Low confidence is another thing that lots of people have. This is one of the first things that you need to recognize and dive into and correct. Understanding what the emotions are that you're feeling truly are and where they're coming from is really, really important to begin tackling those self-limiting beliefs. And challenge your thoughts and talk to yourself, but talk to yourself kindly. That's something that we don't do a lot of. And be conscious about changing your patterns and choosing how you think. So just become a mind manager. Not being comfortable, being uncomfortable, that's another huge thing that we need to look at, and it can really cause self-sabotage. It's just like a child learning to walk. We need not to freak out about falling or not taking enough steps. So, a child's instinct is always to keep going. So take those steps with uncertainty, but they will actually teach you, how to grow. So this is the fastest way to move out of your discomfort zone. It's really just about growth. And what's the worst thing that can happen? I remember doing my first Facebook Live out here on the deck, and G will tell you she was laughing her head off. It took me 2 hours to set the whole thing up. And then I did it sideways. But, you know, did I die? No, I didn't. Did I fail? No, I didn't. But, you know, people laugh, but we had fun about it. So if you're willing to feel, just have that feeling. You'll be able to move past that discomfort, and failing just won't seem so scary. So the difference between some people who have got high ranking months or high cash months or high retention months and those that don't is all about mindset, and knowing that for each low there is going to be a high. So think about it. Are you looking at your life in terms of abundance or scarcity? So sometimes just get out of your own way. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't let your lack of confidence get in your way, and stop comparing yourself to other people. Just have your mindset in the right place and stop second guessing yourself. Believing the lies we tell each other or ourselves is another thing. We lie to ourselves all the time, all the time. So we don't even realize this, because the stories that we've been telling ourselves for so long, like me, being brought up, being Irish, being a nurse, and from that traditional background, I told myself for years that I wasn't good enough to do this. But you know something, I am good enough to do it. So don't tell yourself that. Don't tell yourself that you don't start things and you finish that. Think of all the things that your brain has actually focused solely on, and all the things that you have finished, which were actually that you had never finished, which were actually very few, rather than think of all the things that you have finished. That's really, really important. So give your brain some support to focus on the wins and start telling ourselves new helpful stories, and be prepared to challenge yourself to identify the lies that you're holding back, and start now and invest now in yourself. So stop waiting, just make the change today. You know, we've got a couple of hours left in today, as in, you know, you've still got time that you're going to be able to help that person rank, help your team, help yourself rank. We've still got another couple of hours left today. So when you get off that call, think about it and go back and do it. And decide if this is something that you struggle with. Make a list of 10 things today that you have started and that you have finished. And the list can be one of them, and watch your mindset shift. Being easily distracted. This is something that I think everybody, you know, gets bogged down with. For many of us, it's just our phone or the TV. So if it's your phone, turn off the notifications on all your devices. Set a timer, use airplane mode, use a calendar. This is vitally important. If you're not using a calendar to schedule in your income producing activities or your daily methods of operations, stick to that schedule. And work in 90-minute blocks or 60-minute blocks, but get up and move your body every 45 minutes. Ask yourself what's distracting you and what's keeping you from doing your work and what's making you busy. Have a list of must-do actions and get those done first in your week. And then at the end of your week, you can go back to doing more passive actions, you know, that would be nice ones to be done. But concentrate on income-producing activities in your business. So just remove that constant external stimulation to actually get things done. And when we sabotage our business like that, we're really just trying to escape. So try to be more present and schedule your non-work time intentionally. But always remember to have something to look forward to, because we want to have some fun in this business as well. So it's really important to plan a trip or a night when we can travel again, or, you know, just plan a night out or a dinner or a spa trip, something like that. So you can stop forcing things and stop struggling every day. You can flip the script on self-sabotaging behavior. Get to know yourself, learn your triggers, learn your core beliefs, and set goals to change that behavior. So it's all about mindset, and that is something you can actually take control of. Don't let your past define your future. And you have got the ability to create a life that you want to live. And you can choose to be better and be grateful to have that choice. So believing in yourself is an endless destination, but believing you have failed is the end of your journey. So thank you. And that was just one last thing that I wanted to share, that gratitude helps you fall in love with the life you already have. So thank you, everybody. Thanks, Pam and Angie. I'll just stop sharing.
Get myself off mute. Thank you, Una. A very powerful message there for everybody. Thank you so much for being with us today, Una. There was a lot of information, and just from looking at the chat, people are really getting a lot from what you've shared. So we appreciate your time and being here with us today on our call. Please come back and join us again soon.
I would just say one last thing, Pam. One of the biggest things that I learned is that G did something with us, and it's called Gallup Strengths. And, you know, where you identify, and I know a lot of people in our team, it really resonated with them, where you find that your strengths that help you build your business. So for me, it was like all about harmony and responsibility and being a relator and discipline and developer. And I remember the tutor at the time said, anybody that has all of them, I actually feel sorry for them. I hope there's nobody on here. And I was like, that's me. You know, so, but you know, you learn to, once you know what your strengths are, then you can actually really build your business alongside that, because that's what you really work closely on.
Absolutely. I think, yeah, that's fantastic, the Gallup, and also to help us understand how other people work as well. So, you know, so that we better leverage other people's skills and talents rather than pushing people in areas that they're not strong. Let's encourage people to really refine and build on the areas that they're passionate about and really strong. So I think that's great, Una. Thank you for sharing about the Gallup. Okay, well, moving on. Our next speaker, we're going to move across to Melbourne from the Sunshine Coast now. And many of you know Beata. We all love Beata, and she's down in Melbourne. She's a CEO, she's a lawyer, she's juggling a lot of balls, and LifeVantage is one of her biggest passions through her philanthropy and leaving a legacy. And I'm sure Beata will share more with you, but we're just so proud to have Beata as one of our newest Pro 7s. Beata will be joining our Australia and New Zealand Leader Strategy Council from this day today. So welcome to the council, Beata, from today. And we're just so happy that you're here. So please welcome Beata.
Thanks so much, Pam. I'm really honoured to be here and to kind of share my story. A lot of people have said, I don't know much about your story, so I thought, oh, well, I better compile it all. So I'll get started here straight away, and I'll keep an eye on time. I'll talk quickly because I'm pretty, I can do that. I can also talk slowly, but as Pam said, I'm all of these things, and sometimes when I look at that, I think, oh my God, I feel tired even looking at how much I've done, but I have. I've had lots of corporate roles and everything, but my favourite role is I'm the mum to these two beautiful children, Alex and Tom, really great kids. My husband, Anthony, my new husband, is absolutely gorgeous. And I'd like to give you just a little bit of my life story, my background, which will give you an understanding of me as a person and why I do what I do. So I come from a place called Inala in Brisbane. Very, very humble beginnings, and I was actually a philanthropist before I knew the term. And how that was that came about is my mum, who was an orphan, who was very kind, was always sharing. So when we actually arrived in Inala, we used to even share our Polish food with our Indigenous and our Vietnamese neighbours. And so I was taught to share from a really early age. I came to Australia when I was 5. Now, living in a really kind of it was a very poor suburb. Like, we really did live humbly, and we really lived poorly. I had this absolute drive for education and learning, and I actually completed a law degree, and I became a successful corporate lawyer in a large firm, firstly in Brisbane, and then I came to Melbourne. I only came to Melbourne for 3 months, and that was like 27 years ago. But then after that, I became an in-house lawyer for a company, and I saw how they ran their business, and I thought, I've got to get involved in business. I really loved it. And today, I'm 27 years in business. Our IT company, Auslaser, is going strong. So really love that. And I've got a great team of people here at Auslaser. But right throughout my career, I was always of service. So, you know, I was successful really quickly, but I always gave back to people, pardon me, and I was always philanthropic. I always wanted to help. And right throughout my career, I was giving, and I often say to people, I always give of my talent, time, or my treasure. I'm in a position where I can give all of those, but previously, when I didn't have treasure, when I didn't have money, it was my time or my talent. And then I became the chairwoman of the Hunger Project for nearly 8 years, based out of New York, and we worked in the poorest nations in the world: Africa, India, Bangladesh, South America, that was remarkable, because that really gave me a really deep lesson in gratitude and, you know, being so grateful for what I have. And I've traveled to a lot of those places, and over here I was in Uganda, and you know, I've had a really great career in Parliament House here. But having all of this success, you know, having enough finances, I just wasn't fulfilled. In my heart, there was something that was really missing in my heart. And I must say that when I came to LV, I wanted to help more people. And I really believe that LV has actually now given that vehicle to me. So my LifeVantage story begins in August 2017. I had a little bit of a story. I was the chair of Crohn's and Colitis Australia. We supported 75,000 members. I came out of a board meeting, and that board meeting actually changed me. I actually thought I had a neurological disease, and I had brain fog and concentration. It was shocking. And my dearest and closest friend, Susan Young, introduced me. And I absolutely love Susan. I love the product, and this product changed my life, and it changed the people around me. As you can see, I was on 8 to 10 supplements a day, and I'm so grateful to Susan. I just adore that woman, as we all do. I became a distributor, and the day that I signed up, I immediately just told everybody about it. I didn't even wait for my pack or my stock, but I just shared it with everybody. And I became a shareholder of LifeVantage shortly after. As at today, a very, very happy one, because our share price has quadrupled. And I'd had no network marketing experience at all, but I just went with the flow, and my why hasn't changed in 2.5 years. I want to help 10 million people with their health, and I want to help my distributors and my team to run a successful business. I've got that experience, and I want them to be in a position where they can support their family, they can support their team members, and really then support the community. So I want to share with you my journey from Pro 1 to Pro 5 and some of the things that really worked for me. Okay, I purchased a platinum pack, and I often encourage people to buy a platinum pack. There's 4 reasons why. Okay, the first one is you get your first rank. So when I explain to people about the rank, so you get your first rank. The second is the sales value. So I will often explain to people, when you actually sell your pack, you get a lot of money back. So if you sell your, you know, $1,700 pack, you can actually make about $800. So that's the second reason. But your prospects will follow. So people will often say, what pack did you come in on? I came on a platinum. So it's kind of like a pattern. And very importantly, it becomes a serious commitment to the business. I wanted to distribute this. I said to Susan, I'm going to sell off my pack and I'm going to start a business. And that's what I did. The other things that I did is I listened and I followed to what Susan and our gorgeous Steve told me. I was extremely coachable. Even though I was an executive coach, I opened my mind and said, what do I need to do? I followed to the T what G and Susan told me, and I still do. I shared my product with everyone that I knew and everyone that I came across. You know, in the street, I kind of integrated it into my everyday life. But my belief and my excitement was really what sold the product more than my knowledge, because I didn't have a lot of knowledge. I used a lot of 3 ways too, thanks to G and Susan in those days. And I achieved Pro 5 in about 10 weeks. Which is good and bad, because I didn't know a whole lot of stuff, but I just kept getting customers, and I didn't even know the comp plan. And then one day Susan rang me and said, listen, you got Pro 5 and you've won a trip to the Bahamas. And that was all based on me just wanting to help people and get customers. So my belief is, be of service and the rewards will follow. That's my philosophy. And I integrated LV into my everyday life. Okay, so whoever I met or whoever I spoke to, or if I heard, oh, they've got a headache, they're feeling tired, I'd talk about that and I would just share my experience, my results, and then I would just direct them to the ABC. I still use the ABC, or there's beautiful ones with Dr. Gail Pearson or Brian Dixon. So I just directed it very high level, then directed it to a tool that explained. And in those days when I started, there was actually no pace setter program, but I just followed what G and Susan told me, and it became the pace setter program. So the pace setter program is exactly what the girls just said, just do this, do that. And that's what I did. And I stayed and I continue to stay close to Susan and G. Weekly, at least fortnightly. So I stay together, we talk, we stay together, and my whole team stays close. And I think that's the key to getting us to rank. And I do my daily actions, and I just keep enrolling. I keep going back to basics, finding customers, helping them, just keep going back to basics, and I duplicating and not reinventing the wheel. When I first started the 6 months, I thought, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? You know, and G and Charlotte had set up a great system. And then after 6 months, I thought, no, I've just got to follow the system, because duplicating it isn't going to work. These ladies got to where they were, so I followed the system. And I'm always at events and weekly training. That is an absolute not negotiable. I've only missed a couple. In fact, one, I came off a flight, I drove straight to the event. I looked like a hag, but I was there at the event because that was what was important. And I continue to do that, and I encourage my team to. And I launch people properly. So when someone comes on and they've invested a platinum pack, I feel an absolute responsibility to ensure that they're launched properly. I give them the best head start, and then of course it's up to them. And of course, have fun and make it fun and support one another, because you know the fun is really important, but the connection is key with your team. So then my next journey went from Pro 5 to Pro 7. Again, simple steps. I followed the leaders. I just followed our leaders here in Australia. I followed the leaders in the US, and I just watched what they did. I watched them on Facebook, and I just duplicated it, and I did what they did, and then I showed my team how to do it. The second point is I interview my potential distributors. I don't just take on everybody. I kind of see it. This is my business. I'm interviewing people to make sure that they work well with me. And when you choose the right people and you choose the people that you really want to work with, it's actually not work. It actually feels, it becomes fun. It doesn't feel like work. And compete against yourself. I am so competitive. I'm crazy competitive when I was a lawyer and everything, but I compete against myself. So it was like rank 1, rank 2, and I keep competing against myself, and I don't compare myself to anybody. I think that is one of my big drivers. I just keep competing against myself. Okay, this is what I need to do. This is now. And of course, support your team. Okay, stay close to your sponsor and stay close to your teams, because that's where it's going to really flourish. You're not going to rank until your team ranks, and we are family. We're a family. So collaborate with your team, because on your own, you will only get to a certain level. Okay, and I found that on my own. And then when I collaborated with my team, honestly, magic happened. So the collaboration and your team effort is really the key. And group your teams together. I've got great teams, and they all kind of get together in their own groups, and they've got their own little families, and we're one big family. And I think that really works. You know, I think that's been part of what's worked in my team, is just these amazing people kind of forming their own teams, getting together and being part of the whole collective team. And very importantly, I think as a leader, create a culture of support. I'm always asking people, where can I help you? Where can I support you? Create a culture of kindness. Be kind to people. Not everybody's at your level, so be kind. And the integrity. Never compromise. I am absolutely the queen of integrity. That is a not negotiable for me. And my statement that I always share is, when we serve others, the financial rewards follow, and that's an absolute fact. So what's next from Pro 7? I call it, there's an old Buddhist saying, which is fetch water and chop wood. So when I got to Pro 7, people were saying, what are you doing next? I go back to basics. I fetch wood and I I fetch water and I chop wood. I just go back to basics. I find my customers. I have a discipline where I find at least 4 customers a month. That discipline I keep going with. I train and I try and lead my teams, and then again and again. And I just keep doing the same thing, and I work closely with my distributors to help them reach their ranks. I'm always looking at their ranks, and because that's what got me to where I am. And we all work together and we reach our collective goals together. So that collaboration piece, staying close to your sponsors, staying close to your teams, that is going to be the key. That is the key to success. And again, you will only rank when your team ranks. Okay, so and keep competing against yourself. You know, I'm at this rank, okay, I'm going to go to the next rank. So it's a competition, but it's a competition against yourself, like golfers do. They want to get better and better. It's kind of the same in our business. And what's next for me is Pro 8, 9 and 10, and never giving up. I keep saying, never give up. Believe in your product, believe in your company, believe in the system, believe in your team, and that's it. So I look forward to witnessing and celebrating all your successes here. And remember, find your tribe and love them hard. Thank you for sharing your time. I really appreciate it.
Wow, Beata, what a powerful message you've shared with us. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Just reading through some of the messages, we're so blessed with people who lead with heart, and you know, we do hear that all the time. I believe that we're very unique in that respect within the industry, that we have just such an incredible biohacking community of like-minded people that, like you said, Beata, it's your business, so you just don't want anyone coming into that precious community. So I loved what you shared about interviewing people. Before we finish up with you, Beata, may I ask, where to from now? You're Pro 7, are you growing an incredible team? You've got a lot of new team on board. What are your goals and dreams for yourself and the team?
So Pam, right now it's to maintain the rank, and it's just to go back to basics. And now it really is to kind of delve deeper and see who in my team needs that heads up, etc. Because I know that it's going to be, you know, as my team rank, then I'll rank, and I really want to. You know, there's a lot more training for us, and you know, Team Hearts has just started, so we're really on this trajectory, and I'm just really excited to kind of be working with the people I work. I'm fulfilled now, like, you know, the success is all there, but it's the fulfillment part, and this actually supports my philanthropy. So, you know, a lot of my team know that the income that I make, I give back to the community, and that's the fulfillment part for me. I absolutely love that part. It's really why I'm here.
Incredible, Beata. Well, we're certainly very proud and very grateful to partner with you. So here's to continued success for yourself and your team. And thank you for all you do to help others. Absolutely.
Thank you, Pam, to you and Angie and Claire for all you guys do in the corporate team. Thank you.
Thanks, Beata. Okay, well, moving on to our next speaker. So unfortunately, Susan wasn't able to join us today due to some technical issues. The great news is, though, that we have Susan's daughter, Ivy, on the call. We made a last-minute reach out, and this wonderful woman has just said yes to us. So Ivy is a young mum, as you can see, and I believe, Ivy, you're a naturopath as well. And what we wanted Ivy to share with you today, and please have some grace with her because we've just thrown this on her, but how to run a spa wellness party, just in a nutshell. Are you there, Ivy?
Hi, yes, Pam, hi.
Hello, and I hear you just moved house as well.
Yes, we just moved yesterday, in fact.
Well, thank you so much for being in, and please just finish whenever you need to, but we're so grateful you could join us for a few minutes and just share. By the way, everyone, Ivy's one of our newest Pro 5s as well. How you run a health and wellness party and why it's such a successful model.
So sorry, Pam. I've got a sick one in the background as well. So I'm just going to keep the phone up so she can just attend to herself. But so we ran a really successful spa party on Sunday, and it was fantastic because it really just helped guests, you know, see the culture of the team and what we were all about as well. And with that, it allowed everyone to just really bond and also get to learn about our products and you know, what biohacking is all about. So we had a beautiful event where we catered it for guests, and we had, you know, one distributor to one guest. So we didn't have an overwhelming amount of distributors or, you know, And with that event, we had it catered, the women attended, we introduced everyone, so everyone felt connected straight away and shared what they loved out of the distributors for being here with the team and what we were achieving. And then we did a short presentation talking about anti-aging and the benefits of our LifeVantage products. And from there, we then had a demonstration, a live experience where they got to actually use the LV skincare, the True Science skincare range, and experience what the products were all about. So we have a beautician in our team, and she did a demonstration with all the ladies. So it was a really lovely experience for them all. And then we bonded and connected after that. So we had the catering, we took photos, and we just mingled amongst each other. So it was a really lovely event, and everyone really enjoyed themselves, and we had a really good success with that as well. So it's a lovely way really to just get people together and not just be focused on doing a business presentation, but really just creating a really nice community culture that women want to be part of. So yeah, it was fantastic.
Wow. So Ivy, how did you invite people? So obviously you're not asking them to a business opportunity meeting. So how did you get such high sort of high quality, if you want to call them leads, potential to come along?
So Angie, if you can, sorry Pam, if you can just repeat that question.
Yeah, so how did you invite people to the event? I know it's a smaller event, of course, at the moment, around 20 people. What was the message you gave them, because obviously these women were really excited to join?
Yeah, absolutely. So we basically said that, look, we're having a get-together and a spa party. So we called it a health and wellness spa party. Okay. And so we said that it was going to be a really lovely event of beautiful women getting together to experience some, incredible skincare products, and really just a great way to experience what we do as a team and see the culture of our team. And that it was a low-key event, but a really fun way to see what we do and how you can build this business as well.
Awesome. And I noticed, because you had a beautiful table set up, so everyone had a mirror, everyone had a headband. So you went through you had Renee, who's a pharmacist on the team. She did a wonderful job, and she, explained the beauty regime and all of that. So the setup was very classy and really lovely. What I noticed though is at the end of the regime piece, one of the girls just said, well, I'm definitely joining. So I'm just wondering, so had there been some pre-conversation prior to that event? Because I know that I think you had every distributor that came needed to bring a guest, right? So there was pre-discussion on LifeVantage because you got so many sign-ups on the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the guests had seen information. So we followed the steps, which is really important because that's what's duplicatable at the end of the day. So all the guests had seen the ABC video. Some of them had also seen an overview of the business presentation as well, and we're looking, I guess, to just have that final introduction with the company, which is really a great way to give them that final introduction, which is through the community culture. It was a way for everyone had seen some sort of information and had, a couple of conversations with each distributor prior to coming. So when they came, it was kind of just like the finishing touches to, just showing them what we're all about and really just helping them see in their mind, not only is this a great way to build or be part of a team and culture, but, the support that's involved, and getting to meet all the other team members. They already feel connected, which is really important because when people are starting a business, they want to feel that community, they want to feel that connection, they want to feel that there's support, they want to know other people so they know that they're not on this journey alone. And that it's a great way to do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love it because, as much as a lot of us build online, there's just such power in the face-to-face still, even in the time of COVID. We're permitted to have smaller scale events, and I know, and if it's anything to go by my friend circle, that we're all busting to go out and go to something. So it's really a great time to be doing that. And as we know, many people are looking for other opportunities because they're getting laid off their jobs by the trillions every day. So what a fantastic event, and congratulations on that, Ivana. And we'll be talking about these events more moving forward. Before you finish though, can you just kind of share with everyone who you are and what you do? Because I don't think I gave you a good enough introduction at the Because watch this lady, people. She's going places. Quite incredible. She's an exceptional presenter, and we're just proud to have you on board.
Thanks, Pam. That's really lovely. So for all of you that don't know me, just a little bit of a story or background on me. I'm a certified nutritionist. I've got a degree in complementary medicine and a background in personal training. So prior to being with LifeVantage, I used to work in gyms as a nutritionist and as a trainer. And then I went on maternity leave when I was pregnant with my only child. And after maternity leave, I kind of didn't really want to go back into the gym environment. I wanted to stay home, but I wasn't really sure what I could do. I kind of felt really lost. So a year after, when my little one turned 1, I then had a health challenge, and it kind of really threw me because I was always someone that was so proactive in my health. So I was introduced to LV in 2019 in October through my mum, and also through Josie with the products, and I had a great experience on the products. It made a huge difference to me. And Josie said to me, Ivy, you've got a great story. Why aren't you out there sharing it with people? So it really made sense. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to miss this incredible opportunity to work with Josie and my mum. So I was on board straight after that. And it's been a great journey since. And I've learned so much just in the short 6 to 7 months that I've been with the company. And, you know, some of those things is that you've got to, you've got to know, as it's already been covered, you've got to know your why, you know, what you want to create for yourself. You've got to have that vision, and you've got to review that every single day. And, I made a commitment to myself at the start of this year that I was going to do whatever it took to get out of my comfort zone, that if I wanted a life that was different to what I had, then it had to be extending myself past my current situation and comfort. So I really encourage everyone that's on here, keep pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, because the more you push yourself out of your comfort zone, the bigger your comfort zone grows, and the things that seemed hard then become really easy. So presenting, is a big barrier for many people, and it was for me too. And, I've done that many presentations now that I absolutely love it, and I enjoy it, and I thrive on it. And that's not the person that I was last year. I'd be sweating like everyone does and my heart racing. So, push yourself out of your comfort zone, because when you grow, your team grows. When you do that personal development every day, when you know your vision and you know what you want, then you're able to create that life for yourself and create a business around that as well. And people are watching, and when they see you changing and growing and developing, and they see that through your social media, then they want to be part of that too, because they can see that you're not the same person that you were, 6 months ago or a year ago. So I definitely say that. And, also know, as it's been covered as well, know who you want to work with. You don't have to enroll every single person. If you know who your avatar is, the sort of person that you want to attract into your team, then the universe will work with you to bring those people to you. So I was very clear that I wanted to build a team of mums with children the same age as my little girl, who's now 3, and toddlers, and help them not have to go back to work, from being on maternity leave. And that's the sort of team that I'm now working with as well. So definitely know the sort of people that you want to work with. Use your support as much as possible. So when I decided that I wanted to run for Pro 5, I tapped into my full support network, everyone that I could. We just moved house yesterday while finishing my Pro 5 run, and I had my brother helping and my husband helping, and I had my mum helping and my mum's partner helping to look after Hayley, and I used my support network. So know who your support network is, because when you've got your support network, then you're able to achieve the things that you want to as well. And of course I had Josie to help as well. So your upline is there to help you every single step of the way, and I'm so grateful for her. And yeah, always stay plugged into events, webinars, things like this, because I learned at Leadership Academy in January, either you need the event or the event needs you. And it's so true. If you need the event, that means that you need to keep learning, and we always need to keep learning. We never know everything at any stage, and we can always pick up key tips and gems from events and webinars and other people talking. And if the event needs you, that means that you're up on stage and you're presenting, and that means that you're that leader that you wanted to be, and that the business needs you to be, to grow to that level of elite and beyond. So yeah.
Wow, that's a lot. I love that what you said about the event needs you, because often, when we speak to people and we're like, would you like to present? And they're nervous. It's like, you always take the focus off yourself and focus on the people in the audience. And I always say to people, everyone wants you to succeed. You'll always look out in the audiences and there's smiles from here to here. So people want you to win. So I think that's a good point. But I think we could listen to you. I think we're going to have to get you back at some stage, Ivy. I mean, this quiet, young, beautiful woman, and look at her now just powering in this business. In a short time, she's become a Pro 5. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I must be very proud too. Suzanne, if you have joined us, we will definitely catch you at another time. But thank you for jumping on at short notice. That just shows the truth of your leadership, Ivy. So enjoy the rest of your unpacking. I'm sure this was a short reprieve from it. So we'll be seeing you again real soon, and congratulations again on Pro 5.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Pam. Thanks, everyone.
Well, thank you everyone for joining our call today. Thank you to our two incredibly beautiful and powerful women, Una, Beata and Ivy, for being with us today. From this week on, there'll be no more webinars for July. We'll start monthly webinars from August. So mark your calendars. The monthly one for August will be August 5, same time, 12 noon in Australia, Eastern Standard Time, 2 p.m. New Zealand. Look out for who we're going to have next. Who knows? It's a big surprise. So enjoy your afternoon. Thank you for joining once again, and stay healthy. Stay